Hey there, it's Matt Phillips here from ZipLeads. I'm here with Frankie D from DG Consulting. And today we're going to be talking about very, very quickly how to get the most value or get the most conversions opportunities from phone calls. So when you finally get that potential lead on the phone, a potential client on the phone, what do we do from there to make sure that we're actually converting into either paid trials or free trials, whatever the case may be in your situation? And we're talking specifically for combat sports, martial arts, your Muay Thai schools, etc., which is definitely Frankie's experience. Those of you that don't know Frankie, Frankie's done it all. Like, he's been a fighter, he's been a coach, he started his own school. He actually grew that school. I think over 700 members. Is that right, Frankie?
Yeah, 700
one of the
members,
largest,
25 staff.
Yeah, one of the largest combat sports businesses in the country. And now he specializes in helping combat sports schools grow. And one element of that is both getting people on the phone and then what to do once they're on the phone. So we're going to go through this pretty quick. Frank, we might even just dive straight into what I wanted to give as the precursor to this about those context-based memberships.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen up here. And there we go. Okay, so even if you are getting on the phone just to book someone in for a free trial, what I'm going to show you here is really, really important to make sure that you connect with this prospective client correctly right from the beginning, and you really get on the same page as them, because that's always going to help your sales. And so this is regardless of whether or not it's for them, it's for their child. In fact, that's one of the first things we'll talk about, is understanding that when you get on the phone with a prospective member, they have some goal in mind, which we have up here on the screen, and they have some ideas of what they're looking for in terms of how they're going to get there, okay? So in this example, we're talking about someone who is looking for something for their child. They're specifically interested in the elements of discipline and focus enhancements, and their kid seems to quit every other thing they start, so they're worried about the kid quitting. And fitting in with their family, they really need this to work on a Monday or a Tuesday afternoon, okay? And so the thing we want to avoid doing is when you get all this information from someone, and well, the first thing is you need to get the information, but also is we don't want to create a mismatch or any sort of vagueness about whether or not your membership and what you offer actually fits in with what they're looking for. Because what can happen from time to time is that you get all this information, you've done a good job of talking to them, building that rapport, and then you like just unload your entire membership details on them, which is like, again, hypothetically here, it might be, yeah, this is for adults and kids. We do competition training. It's all about anti-bullying, confidence, focus, role models. There's accountability. It's fun, friendly, family focused. There's training times on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. And you know it really well, but for someone brand new, it's just overwhelm. And what it results in is confusion as to whether or not this is the right place. And so Frankie's going to go through in a minute, like, what are the simple steps to go through to pull this information from? How do you present the offer when you're on the phone? But it's really important as a foundation skill that you understand that you need to be able to pull what they need and then match that to your membership. And that's what I call context-based memberships. And so in this example, we say, okay, well, there's this mismatch going on here. I can't just present everything. So instead, if we focus on what's highlighted and enlarged here in blue, we can actually see the exact things they're looking for are here. So we're not making stuff up. We're not like saying we do something if we don't do it, but we're pulling from them what they're looking for, and we only present that which is valid. And that's why I call it context-based memberships. It's presented in context to what makes sense to them right now for what they're looking for. And now what we end up with is your membership and what they're looking for pretty close, if not an exact match. And now we're working in alignment towards the goal. And it's almost difficult for a person to hear a membership presented in the exact light of what they just asked for and do anything but go ahead with it, because it's almost like this weird moment of like, oh my gosh, this is like meant to be. I can't believe you just have sessions on Mondays because I'm only available on Mondays. Like, that's awesome, right? Like, it sounds a bit trite, I know, but trust me, like, people are very surprised when what you present is just what they're looking for. And it's almost like one of these things, like, it's not quite karma, but it's like, things are just falling into place. This is obviously the place we're meant to go to. Yeah, let's get started, right? So that's what we talk about with context-based memberships. Frankie, let's dive into the actual process of what happens on these phone calls and,
Yeah,
and
sure
how we
thing.
make these phone calls.
Yep.
Do you want me to bring up the
Yeah, let's go through the bullet
script,
points,
the
which actually shows
steps,
it.
the bullet points? All right, just give me
Absolutely.
1 second here.
Thanks for that, Matt. So look, guys, Matt is absolutely correct. One of the most important part of actually getting the conversions and crushing the sales isn't what all the sales guru make you believe. You don't need a 25-minute sales script. You don't need to try to pull through in their heartstrings and make them feel like this is a do or die situation. The most important part with combat sports isn't only telling the client that they're going to get fit and have a six-pack and feel great when they come to the club. The most important part is actually understanding what the client needs, and more importantly, making sure the client feels safe to show up to your club. Whether it's for the child who's been bullied, whether they're looking for self-defense, whether they want to compete. A lot of people's mindset with combat sports is they're walking to a club that's going to replicate a Rocky movie. And this is what these bullet points are going to allow you to highlight. We're going to find out exactly what the client needs and match our product as suited. So first obvious question, who's this for? Now, one of the things that we do at ZipLeads is we make sure we nurture the client before the call. So they'll be able to fill out a survey where we preempt and we know what they're coming in for. And we can also send them testimonials and reviews. But letting the client explain, who is this for? What do they want? Why do they want it? Is it for the child who's being bullied, or is it because their child is bullied? Very different product. One is building confidence, the other one's building discipline. Is it for a 20-year-old who wants to be your future fighter, or is it a 40-year-old that wants to dad bod and wants to get rid of that extra love that he gained over winter? All of these strategies are very different, and being able to find out who it's for means we can tailor their response to actually suit them, and again, make them feel safe it's the right choice. Now, where we talk about what's there or the current shortfalls or weaknesses, we want to find out what they've done previously and why they've struggled to fit into a place. And again, the most important component here is to make them feel safe. Paraphrasing back with empathy. This is a crucial component, and this is what you guys should be doing as coaches. You should be understanding where your clients' struggles and weaknesses are, and making sure that they feel comfortable that they're not going to be the only person who shows up, whose kid is shy, whose child is nervous, who they're socially awkward, who they don't know the difference between the left and the right hand. We were all beginners once. And the most important part when you speak to these clients is remember what it's like to be a beginner. Going forward with that allows you to really connect with the client immediately, finding out when they're ready to start, whether they're looking for 3 or 6 months from now, whether they're looking for when winter sports ends, or whether they're freaking out because it's gotten hot and they don't have the body they want yet, and the best times they want to train, because your timetable should be able to reflect that. And the way we teach you at DG Consulting is actually building out a timetable that can adjust to most people's times. Now, the most important part is book them in. If they're a suitable client, if they fit and tick all the boxes of the kind of member you want in your club, then don't let them get off the phone. Don't let them go off and think about it. Don't let them procrastinate any further. For a lot of the clients that come to us, they've been thinking about coming to us for a while. When you've ticked all their boxes, your question should be, so did you want me to book you in for Tuesday night? You've got a beginner's class, the coach will be ready there for you, and you'll be only partnered with beginners. That's the crucial part to all of this. Finding out who they are, what they want, showing them some empathy, and truly explaining that we were all a beginner at one stage, and then getting them locked in. This will really help get you guys over the line without sounding like you're trying to sell an F45 booty challenge.
Yeah, and I just want to reassure people as well, Frankie, that we've all had it, and possibly people watching this, that, well, people always want to go and talk with someone, or they always want to check with someone, and I don't want to be pushy, right? And that, absolutely, we shouldn't have to be pushing them into the sale. But part of this process of finding out, when are they ready to start, what days suit them, exactly what they're looking for, is being able to get absolute clarity right then on the phone call as to whether or not this is a good idea, so they can actually make a decision. They might say no because it might not fit. Yeah, you don't have training when I can make it. That's fine. But if all the information is there, then why not make a decision to at least book into the next step? Where when you do it this way, more of them will actually ask you, great, when can I come in and get started? And you won't even be pushing, right? It's very much a client-led process. They will pull the information that they need to get any bits of final clarity, make sure if they've got any other questions, answer them, and then book them in. As Frankie said, just get them booked in. Now, we're also going to give you a download on the back of this video, which will have not just this, the script, but as we said, it's not a script, it's just more of a process. You've got to get these points. Because, I mean, Frankie sort of did it when he went through it, but you might get the first 4 points of these steps when you say hello. They might launch into this, tirade about
Most
all the
people
things
just
they've
want to
tried,
be heard.
right?
Just listen.
And they just want someone to listen to them. That's right. And again, that comes back to paraphrase back, make sure they feel that they are heard. If they can really see that you understand their problem, they will associate that you can solve it. And so we're going to give you not just that, but some examples of what to say. Don't use them as like a script all the way through. We will, however, include some ideas on like how you word the actual offer, like present the offer. That's probably the one thing, if you don't want to get sort of tripped up on what you're saying there, maybe you read that bit off when you read the download that we've got. But generally, as Frankie said, I mean, how long are these phone calls, Frankie?
They should be under 10 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes max, unless the client is really just looking for someone to talk to. And then that's where you start coaching them. You show them that empathy and you connect with them. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so grab the download under this. By the way, if you know anyone that would benefit from this video as well, feel free to share it with them, because we'd love to get this information out to help more and more studios. And we'll probably see you in another video where we probably talk more about those offers more specifically. Anything else, Frankie?
No, that's it on my end.
Great, thanks.